Everything all correct here. Neil, thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna answer your question real quick, and then we're gonna just read off all the news blurbs that have came my way. Let's do it. Alrighty. Should I drop Dylan for Pacheco? Great question, Neil. So I actually got this question on Twitter as well. It was not from you. What's up, Tommy? How's everyone doing? Two is back, yes, sir. So what I would tell you is that you got to look at this from two different ways, right? So, for instance, if you are just looking for a guy that is safe every single week, that is going to probably never have a humongous game where he wins you your week, but is a guy that's reliable to start every week, then you're going to want AJ Dillon on your team. But if you want that super big upside play, that guy that could smash your week, but he also might end up not being the starter next week, then you can pick up Pacheco. So personally, with how Dylan's played, I would just pick up Pacheco. Pacheco is now the starting running back on the Kansas City Chiefs, according to all the reports I have seen. It appears that Pacheco or that Clyde Edwards-Helaire's days of being the guy is over. I'm not sure why they're doing this because it's not like Clyde has really looked that bad, but to be honest with you, it is what it is at this point. It's hard to it's hard. It just sucks because personally, I was someone who was really on board with Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I thought his ADP was good. He smashed the first 4 games this season. He disappointed the last 2 weeks. I thought, you know what? Those 2 bad games is gonna be okay. But now it's hot. Now it's Pacheco season, and there's nothing we can really do about it. So you're just gonna have to start Pacheco now. So yeah, I would drop Dylan for Pacheco. Dylan has been a disaster this season. I didn't love him in fantasy drafts. I did take him on a couple teams because of his safety with his upside that if Aaron Jones was to go down, something crazy could happen. But at the end of the day here, we are now 7 weeks into the season. Dylan's performed to a high capacity once. I've seen. Yeah, you can afford the rest. No problem, Neil. No problem. Kevin Davis, thank you for the super chat. Sutton or Alex Pierce, thank you. So Sutton's quarterback is now Brett Rippin, however the hell you pronounce his last name. Now, Rippin actually did beat the New York Jumbo Jets in prime time. I think it was Monday Night Football, maybe a year or two ago. So we have seen Rippin play against the Jets. He actually beat them. That was a decent game from Melvin Gordon, if you guys can remember that game. But I think Ripken's gonna be a fine quarterback for Sutton, but I'd probably just go with Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce continues to be fed the ball. We know his role in this offense. Maybe Sutton just absolutely takes a dump on the chest um, of the Jets, right? Maybe he just goes absolutely crazy, but I have a feeling that we are going to see I've got a feeling that we are going to be seeing, what's his name? Sauce Gardner, kind of shadowing Sutton, and thus, I think that with Rippon, he's gonna probably have a bad time, so I'm gonna go ahead and play, Alec Pierce, Kevin. Just woke up, Spock. Good morning. No problem. Dean Ramirez, thank you for the super chat. Romeo Dubs or Jamal Williams for the flex? Another fucking week of DeAndre Swift. This goddamn bastard DeAndre Swift every week. "Oh, he's gonna come back. Oh, fuck you, DeAndre Swift. What the hell? This is so frustrating. This is so my sound is choppy. Anyone else hearing that? Is the sound messed up? Your mic is spotty. I have the wrong mic on. We good? Here, let me pull my mic closer. Just give me 1 second. That might be it. Mic is bad. What the fuck? Does it sound better now? Muffled. God damn it. All right, so I'll wait to answer your question. Tell me when we're good. Tell me when we good. I apologize. Sorry about my microphone. It might also just be my internet. Sounds good now. Okay. Thank you. All right. So Romeo Dubes or Jamal Williams. So what it was is that I have a fan behind me, and the fan was probably hitting something, and it was making a noise, and it was fucking everything up. So we're good now. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Sorry about that. So Romeo Dubes or Jamal Williams. So we were going off on this tangent about DeAndre Swift. So DeAndre Swift for another week in a row screws us over. He doesn't play. Jamal Williams is obviously a must-start player when DeAndre Swift is out. The amount of points this guy can score is unreal. He could score a shit ton of points with DeAndre Swift in. So now imagine with DeAndre Swift out, I would go ahead and play Jamal Williams pretty clearly there. Stanley, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Should I start Mike Evans over Damian Pierce in the flex? Yes, I would. I think at this point, Pierce is probably a little bit safer of a play, but Evans is going up against the Panthers. I think this is the get right game for Tampa Bay Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady puts up a very big game here, so I would lean with Mike Evans over Damian Pierce in the flex. Kalen says Kenyon Drake or Jamal Williams. While I do really like um, Kenyon Drake this week. I feel pretty confident in Kenyon Drake's ability, even though Justice Hill will be playing and they activated Gus Edwards. I still think Drake could have a good game, but Jamal Williams is just kind of on that next level. Kalen, if I'm being honest with you, again, Jamal Williams is like a must start guy for me when DeAndre Swift is out and DeAndre Swift is not playing. Thus, I'm going to start Jamal with two A's. Williams, Dylan, thank you for the super chat. Deontay, Jacoby, Mostert, London, ETN, flex in full PPR. Great question here. So I think there are two options that I really like here. Actually, there's three. So I like Jacoby Myers a lot. I know he didn't have as big of a game last week, but I still view him as incredibly safe. And I think they kicked the shit out of the Bears, and he has a pretty good game. We have Raheem Mostert up against the Steelers defense. The Steelers defense didn't look the best up against Uncle Lenny last week. I know Mostert had a down game, but Mostert also, that whole Dolphins team just did not show up against the Vikings. I think they look better with two under center. And then we have the other guy that I like is ETN. Now, James Robinson was a big factor in this offense early on in the year, but now they have really turned the tide towards ETN. I think ETN could also have a pretty good game. So this is a tough question. I feel like these guys are all in a similar range of outcome. They're all pretty safe. I'm going to go here and go out on a limb and say I want to start Jacoby Myers here. I think Jacoby Myers is in a smash spot up against that Bears defense. It is close between the other ones, but I'm going to go Jacoby Myers. Roderick, thank you for the super chat. Jeff Wilson, Foreman, or Gus Edwards. My other running back is Taylor, PPR. So they are saying that Christian McCaffrey is going to play today. But what that basically means is that Christian McCaffrey is going to be in on the goal line packages. McCaffrey is going to get some touches, but don't expect Christian McCaffrey to go in there and just dominate, right? Like be the guy like he was in Carolina. I don't expect that. But while I say I don't expect that, I also don't know how confident I can be in Jeff Wilson because of what we've seen out of Jeff Wilson this season. So it is kind of up in the air what we want to do. If I'm being honest with you here, this is an incredibly tough question. We got Foreman, who's filling in for Christian McCaffrey. He could be seeing a load of carries, but the Bucs defense is pretty tough against the run, and he is a backup running back after all. So this is really a tough situation. I think I would lean with Jeff Wilson Jr. I would lean on the fact that I don't think Christian McCaffrey is going to play some serious minutes. And I'm going to lean on the fact that I think Jeff Wilson, this is kind of his final hurrah of a game. I think after this, we see him really struggle immensely. But this game, I think he could show up and have at least a semi decent showing. So I'm going to go ahead and wheel out Mr. Jeff Wilson here. Spencer, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Hawkinson or Hurst. Thank you. So there's a lot of narratives against Hurst or a lot of narratives against Hawkinson because, when Swift is healthy, when Amon-Ra are healthy, then Hawkinson doesn't typically have as good of a game. Now this week, Amon-Ra will be playing, but Mr. Swift is out. So I'm going to go with Hawkinson. I'm pretty confident in him. I like playing him every single week. Hurst is definitely a start-worthy tight end, but the issue with Hurst is that there are just so many receivers and players that are notable on that team, right? They have Higgins. They have Higgins. They have Boyd, Chase. I don't know why I can remember the names. Mixon. So they have a lot of guys to throw the ball to. Hawkinson is the guy for me. Josh Reacts, thank you for the super chat, my man. CMC or Jamal Williams? I don't know how much they use CMC. Yeah, so my kind of thought process on this is that if you're in a deeper league and you have Christian McCaffrey, and say, for instance, your other running back is like Deontay Foreman, right? So you have Foreman and you have McCaffrey. I'm just going to play McCaffrey because even if McCaffrey shits the bed, at least I won't feel like an idiot playing him. So I think CMC is actually a valuable start-worthy running back in some situations, but not this situation with Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams is going to be the clear workhorse back in Detroit this week. I think CMC could have a good game, but in most scenarios, I think Jamal Williams outscores him pretty easily. So I would lean with Jamal Williams. And again, that's kind of easy for me. I would definitely go Jamal Williams. Roderick says also Bateman, Dobbs, Judy, or Gallup at the flex. Now, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but apparently Jerry Judy is on the chopping block, the trading block for the Denver Broncos. Now, I don't know if he's actually going to get traded, but how the hell do the Broncos seem like they're trying to sell players off. They literally just paid $7 gazillion. They made a huge trade for Russell Wilson, and now they're selling. This is just an awful look for the Broncos. Now, maybe that's just not true. Maybe what I'm reading is the fake news. You never know. It could be. But Dobbs, Judy, Gallup, and Bateman, I think I would just go with Dobbs. I love his matchup up against the Washington Commanders this week. I think Bateman is also a pretty solid start for the Ravens, but I think I'm just going to go with Dobbs. I don't know how healthy Bateman's going to be. Maybe Bateman just screws me over this week. I didn't start him in any leagues and he just has a huge game. Maybe that's true, but I'm just going to go ahead and lean with Rashad Master, or not Rashad Master Bateman. We're going to go with Romeo Dubes. I just like his matchup a little bit better. Stanley, thank you again for the super chat. Kenneth Walker or Dameon Pierce for me. This is one that is relatively close. Now, I do have Dameon Pierce ranked higher no, I have Kenneth Walker ranked higher by a tier. It's almost like Dameon Pierce is knocking on the door to being in that tier 2. But right now, for me, he's in tier number 3. I like Kenneth Walker more. Seems like the team wants to give him the rock. They really fed him a lot last week in that game up against the Cardinals. I think the same thing could be said this week up against the Chargers, whose run defense isn't really all that amazing. So I think Kenneth Walker should run train in this game. That doesn't mean that Dameon Pierce won't have a great game. I think he will, but I would lean with Kenneth Walker. So now we're going to go ahead real quick and read off all of the injury reports so that I have everything to read here. Okay. All right. Pull this shit up and read it off for all y'all. All right. Rashad Bateman active. Packers left tackle Bakhtiari out. Gus Edwards in. Mike Davis out. DeAndre Swift out. Jahan Dotson out. Josh Reynolds in. Mark Andrews in. Rashad Bateman in. Chuba Hubbard is listed as the starting running back for the Panthers today. Again, I think it's going to be probably a 50-50 split to start, and then one of them will break out as the guy. I think that the guy for me, I think Deonta Foreman's going to end up being the guy. ESPN analyst Rex Ryan, that has nothing to do with anything. Anything else here? Yeah, nothing super crazy. Steelers not expected to trade Chase Claypool. Brandon Cooks has been called for targeted, like they're trying to trade. Teams are trying to trade for Brandon Cooks. Anything else here? Anything else here of note? Keenan Allen trending positive, so Keenan Allen might play. Sammy Watkins is available to play. That's about it. That's about all she wrote. Alrighty. So we're back on into the questions here. Thank you guys for all the super chats. Thank you for all of the support today. I greatly appreciate it. All right, Mag Watches, thank you for the question. Pick 2, Monty Hunt Lazard. I'm going Monty and Lazard. Start 1, Jacoby Myers for Brandon Cooks, full PPR. Chicago does well up against the pass, by the way. I don't think Chicago is going to do the best up against the pass in this game, to be honest with you. If I'm being honest, I would go Jacoby. Jeff Wilson or Chuba Bubba Hubba. Chuba Hubba Bubba. Hubba Bubba Max. I'm going Jeff Wilson. Spencer, thank you. How about Jimmy G or Matt Ryan? Thank you, Spencer, for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. So the way I look at this is Matt Ryan has more upside, but Jimmy Garoppolo is safer, and Jimmy Garoppolo has not the same upside, but pretty similar upside. So my answer is going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. I think Jimmy Guap has a big game up against the Chiefs, even though the Kansas City Chiefs, or not the Kansas City Chiefs, the 49ers got absolutely raffle stomped last week by the Atlanta Falcons. Like, they shouldn't have lost that game, realistically. I don't think anyone had them losing that game, but Jimmy G still had a good game. So I think Jimmy G slices up the Kansas City defense. And by slices up, I mean just has like a top 12, 13 fantasy performance. I think Matt Ryan, while he could do that good, I think we might see Matt Ryan struggle in this game. So I'm going to go with Jimmy Garoppolo pretty easily for me. Kalen, Brandon Ayuk, or Kenyon Drake for the flex. I would go with Kenyon Drake. I do think Kenyon Drake might be a disaster this week. Because Gus Edwards is active and Justice Hill, There is a chance that we don't see as much Kenyon Drake this week, but I do trust him slightly more. I just think he has more upside. Like Ayuk had that big game. I don't really see Ayuk having yet another smash matchup. So I'm gonna go with Kenyon Drake, but it is extremely close. Stanley says Kyle Pitts or Robert Tunyon. I don't think you can fade away from Kyle Pitts at this point. I think not starting him will feel terrible when he smashes. Robert Tunyon is a good start as well, but I'm gonna go with Kyle Pitts in that question. Isaac says I'm in late. How are we feeling about Pacheco this week and for the rest of the season? Are we good to drop Melvin, thinking of stashing Gaskin or Matt Burita? So I would hold Melvin Gordon over stashing Gaskin or Matt Burita because I think there is a narrative where the Broncos actually do figure it out towards the end of the season. Melvin Gordon is the guy. Melvin Gordon gets a bunch of carries, and then we feel pretty happy about Melvin Gordon. And yes, I know Gus is active. So I would tell you to hold Melvin Gordon, and then I think Pacheco is going to be the guy this week. But I wouldn't tell you that he's going to be the guy to where he's like a top 5 fucking running back every single week, or like a top 12 guy like CH could have been. I think they're going to work in Jerick McKinnon. They're going to use Pacheco. I think this is really just going to be a scenario where they phase CH out. I'm not sure why, maybe because they want to get rid of him, but it is what it is. I think that Pacheco could be a top 12 guy. I'm just not penciling him in to be that. He'd probably be a top 24 guy every single week, a guy you can rely on, but we'll have some smash games because he's on the Chiefs. That's kind of just how I see things. This week, I'm pretty confident in him, though, because I don't think they would have announced him as the starter and not given him at least a decent amount of looks today. So I feel pretty comfortable when it comes to Isaiah Pacheco. And then again, I'm holding Melvin. I just couldn't cut him for Gaskin or Breida. I just couldn't do it. Thanks, no problem. CH, Jamal Williams, Hunt, pick 2. Jamal Williams and Hunt for me. Also, Dallas D. Also, I have the Dallas D. Also, Dubes or Lazard. I'm going Lazard over Dubes. Uh, thank you for the super chat, Lee Howification. Leoification. If I say your name wrong, I'm just an asshole. I apologize. Let's see. Dak or Burrow, CMC or Pierce. So for the second one, it's pretty easy for me. I'm gonna go Pierce. I like CMC, but I'm not telling you that I think that like CMC, he has the top 12 upside even with limited carries because he might just score 2 touchdowns. But I'm still gonna go with Pierce and then Burrow or Dak. Um, I think I just like Burrow slightly more. Now, Dak does have an excellent matchup against the Lions, but I do kind of worry that maybe they don't look to throw the ball as much, maybe because of the fact that Dak is coming off the injury. Now, I could be wrong. Um, this is a very close question. It's not like I have Dak ranked much lower than Burrow. I actually have them pretty close in my mind. So I'm going to go ahead and go with Joe Shiesty and then Damian Pierce. For me, it is close between Dak and Burrow. Damian Pierce and CMC are not really close in my mind for me. So that's just how I feel. So I'm gonna go Burrow and Damian Pierce. Thank you for the super chat. Dill, thank you for the super chat as well. Do you think Jalen Waddle will play? Yes, I do think Jalen Waddle will play. Half PPR need 2 whiteouts. You mean wideouts, obviously. I know. I fucking type shit in wrong all the time and feel like an absolute buffoon. I'm so bad at typing. And then I like it's the worst on Twitter. I know you guys don't care, but I tweet out shit that just makes no sense. And I have to like delete it because I'm like, that made absolutely no sense. And in my head, it makes perfect sense because I don't actually read it. I just tweet it out. But I'm not making fun of Dill here. I'm talking about myself. I'm a fucking idiot. Bateman, Pickens, Josh Reynolds, Darnell Mooney, Dan Bellinger, Juan, Dale, Robinson. So I'm definitely going to play. This is pretty easy for me. I'm going to go Bateman and Pickens. I think Darnell Mooney is going to have an okay game. He started to see a ramp up in targets for the team, which is very positive for him. The team starts to throw the ball more. The issue is he gets the Patriots this week, and that Patriots defense is rock hard. Daniel Bellinger, I think, is in for a decent game. Same thing with Wandale Robinson. But I'm going to go Bateman for sure. Bateman has a lot of upside. His downside, he might score 4 points, but he could also score 25 points. And then with Pickens, Kenny Pickett is starting. The Dolphins defense is definitely more healthy than they've been, but they're still definitely banged up. They're missing Byron Jones, probably our second most important player on defense outside of Xavier Howard. So I think Pickens is going to get fed the ball in this game. I think the Dolphins are going to be up by a significant amount. They are favored by 7.5. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you that Pickens is the guy here. I think he's gonna get a lot of targets. So Pickens and Bateman for me, and then you need a flex as well. So thank God I read that a second time. So Bateman, Pickens, and then your flex is going to be between Josh Reynolds and Wandale Robinson. Now, Robinson had a big game and is basically first ever actual start seeing work. The Giants game does kind of reek of a trap, though. They are the underdogs against the Jaguars, -3 or -2.5, depending on the book. I'm going to go ahead and go with Josh Reynolds because of that. I think Josh Reynolds is pretty safe when, at least until Jameson Williams comes back. When Jameson Williams comes back, this whole thing is going to get flipped on its fucking head. But I'm going to go Bateman, Pickens, and Reynolds, the first three for me. Jeff Wilson or Deontay. I'm going to go with Jeff Wilson. Torn on Bateman or Ayuk. I'd go with Bateman. Pick two, CH, Braden Cooks, Pacheco, Pierce, Drake. I'm going with Pacheco and Pierce. Nikki, rank my starting team: Herbert, Jamar, D Hop, Pacheco, B Rob, Everett, Deontay. Your team looks pretty good to me. The OJ, Zeke, Pollard, and Monty. Pick two. Thanks, no problem, Mr. OJ. And then I'll get to Roderick. I skipped over his super chat. I did not mean to do that. Zeke, Pollard, and Monty. Pick two. Orange, thanks. Shout out to Syracuse. I can't believe they choked up against Clemson. And the fact that Clemson charges the field when they're like -8 or 9 favorites or something is so fucking stupid. Like, no one's surprised you beat Syracuse. It's so dumb. I don't know. Maybe I'm just the only one that hates things like that. I just think it's so stupid. Zeke, Pollard, and Monty. So, look, I think Pollard's better than Zeke, but the team wants to give Zeke the ball. They have the matchup where Zeke can run the ball. So I'm going to go with Zeke. And then I don't think I could start two running backs on the same team. So I'm going to go with Monty. So I'm going to go Zeke and Monty. I just can't see myself starting Pollard and Zeke in the exact same game because basically they limit themselves from having upside. So I'm going to go with Zeke and Monty. Roderick says Pacheco or Jamal Williams. Thank you for the super chat. So while I do like Pacheco in this game, I would find it very hard to sit Jamal Williams. And I say this because Pacheco, while he's going to be the guy, Jamal Williams is the guy. He's not just the guy. He is the guy. Capital THE, the guy. Jamal Williams is just feasting in a majority of games when Swift is out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and keep going back to the bank with the guy that I trust the most. I want to go with Jamal with two A's Williams up against in that matchup up against the Cowboys. I know the Cowboys defense is relatively tough, but I still think I still think Jamal Williams gets it done. Jacoby Myers or Drake London. I'm going Myers. Montgomery or Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams. Juju, Alec Pierce, or Deontay. I would go with Juju. Um, I wouldn't give up on MG3 yet either. Dr. Nikki, what do you think about Waller? I don't know too much about Waller. I assume he plays in the next couple of games. Tony Pollard or Alec Pierce? I'd go with Alec Pierce. Please help. Had CMC running back 2 starting and Jeff Wilson at the flex prior to the trade. Do I still keep this setup? Red zone potential, other flex options. So I would take CMC out and then play Alec Pierce. I gave this guy Tanyan and Hines for Higby, massive steal. I wouldn't say that's a massive steal necessarily if Tanyan keeps this up. But yeah, I think at this point I would rather have Higby than Tanyan and Hines. But I wouldn't call it like grand Larson fucking stealing there. I don't think that's necessarily it. God is good. Is Gus Edwards a good stash? Also stashing Jameson Williams and Kyron Williams. Yes, I think that Gus Edwards is a solid stash. I'd rather have Jameson Williams though over him. Kyron Williams, I don't know too much. I don't really think Kyron Williams is that great of a stash. Isaiah, I'm gonna go Bateman and McLaurin. London or McLaurin. McLaurin. Should I start two or Prescott? Prescott. Start Dak and Zeke. Go full yeehaw and start Michael Gallup or Curtis Samuel. I would not go full yeehaw. I'd go Curtis Samuel. Dylan or Alec Pierce. I'd go Alec Pierce. Cowboys or Broncos. I'd go with the Broncos. Hurst or Hawkinson, Godwin or Sutton. I'd go with Godwin. You think Brian Robinson over CMC is good? I think in that situation, I'm starting CMC. Was able to grab Pacheco off waivers. PPR. Who do you start this week? Pacheco, Dylan, or Robinson? I'd go Pacheco. Keenan Allen to start today or look elsewhere. I'm looking elsewhere. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if he's going to play or not. He's saying, oh, maybe he's trending to play. I just don't know if I believe that. I just don't know if I believe that, if I'm being honest with you. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know if I believe that. With the body shop. And you guys can start Keenan Allen if you want, but I just worry about the fact that it's going to get up to game time and he's going to say he's not playing, and then you're going to be absolutely fisted out of it. Tua or Gino? I'd go with Gino, and then Hawkinson or Everett. I'm going Everett. Aaron Jones, Jamal, or Zeke. I'm going to go with Jamal. Drake or Duvernay? I'm going to go Drake. Um, Are we benching Melvin? Bye week hurt me starting Brees, Pacheco, and flexing Hunt. Other flex is Godwin. Wide receivers are Tyreek and Jamar. Yeah, most leagues I'm benching Melvin. I think this is going to be a running back by committee this week. I am starting Melvin Gordon over Latavius Murray in the one league where I have both of them. It's a 14-team league. It's our work league at Stochastic. My team is in bye week hell. I'm probably going to get absolutely smacked upside the head because the guys I have to start because my whole fucking team's on bye. I also have players that are hurt. But at the end of the day here, I'm still going to have to play him. But yes, in most scenarios, I'm benching Melvin. And then I think your team looks good. I would be benching Melvin for Brees, Pacheco, and Hunt. The other flex is Godwin. Your team looks good. I think you should be in for a fine game. So yeah, I would go with benching Melvin Gordon. Um, I agree with that. I'd find it to be a difficult scenario where you actually start Melvin Gordon. Like you'd have to be down bad to have to start him. Where can you find me on Twitter, Mag Watches? Thank you. Make sure you guys like the video. It's at Notorious FNTSY. It's on the screen right now. Please make sure you guys hit the like button. And just so you know, if you want to get a hold of me on Twitter, the best way to ask me a question is not necessarily in the DMs because when you guys send me a DM for the first time, it like hides it. And then I have to go after and find it. And sometimes I just don't remember to do that. And then there's people that like have DM'd me for like 2 years and I've never answered them before. And I feel like an absolute douchebag because I didn't do that. It's much easier for me to answer the question if you just send it to me like at Notorious FNTSY and then just send the question because I will get a notification that you sent that. That's the easiest way to get in contact with me. Besides in the comments, I try to answer as many comments as possible. Obviously, guys, you guys leave a lot of comments, which makes it hard to answer every single comment, but that's not a bad thing. I appreciate you guys. I always try to answer your guys' questions, just so you guys know. Would you be dropping MG3 or Carter for Pacheco? I'd drop Carter for Pacheco. Dak or Gino to cover for Hurts? I'd go Dak. Bateman, Keenan, Brian, Robinson, or Pollard? I'd go Bateman. Lawrence or Goff? Goff. Do I start Mostert or Monty? Mostert. Mariota or Matt Ryan? I'd go Mariota. Tom Brady against Carolina on a bounce back or Joe Shiesty? I'm going Joe Shiesty. Tom Brady against Carolina? Yeah, I'm going Joe Burrow. Pick two, Bateman, McLaurin, Sutton. I'm going Bateman and McLaurin. Pickett or Heineke? I'd go with Heineke. Rodgers or Matt Ryan half PPR. Actually, I'm going Pickett. I'm going Pickett. Rodgers or Matt Ryan? I'm going Rodgers. Dr. Nick, thoughts on Waller? I think he'll come back in a couple of weeks. I'm not too sure. Monty or Jeff Wilson? I'd go Monty. Goff, Pickett, Brissett, Jimmy G. I'm going Jimmy. Jimmy G and Goff are super close for me. I think I'd go Jimmy G, but I like both of them. Who should I start for Swift, Monty or Robinson? I'd go Monty. CH for the bench. Yeah, I'm benching him. Godwin or Mike Williams? I'm going Mike Williams. CMC, Cooper, Lazard, Deontay. I'm going Cooper and Lazard. Pacheco or CH? Pacheco. CH or Hubbard? Hubbard. You do a great job of answering all the questions. The best around. Thank you. Thank you very much. Flex PPR, Mostert, Juju, Brian Robinson, Jacoby Myers. I'm going Mostert. Thanks, no problem. Good job, young gun. It's hard to keep up with every show on Stochastic. The Buffalo War Pigs. Let's go Buffalo, baby. You guys got a bye week this week. Must be fun. I have to wait until Sunday Night Football to watch the Dolphins. And yes, Sammy, we do have a lot of shows, so it does get a little bit difficult at times to watch all of them. So I appreciate you stopping by, Sammy. I always appreciate you. Thank you for stopping by. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. All right. How's everyone in chat doing today? Hope we're all having a wonderful evening. I love a nice stream on Sunday. These Sunday streams are very fun, very relaxed. Get to have a nice time. And then we get to go all out and watch all the games, baby. Kenneth Walker or Ezekiel Elliott. Kenneth Walker for me. Damian Harris or Najee. I'd go with Najee. Uh, Josh Reynolds, Foreman, Drake. I'm going Josh Reynolds. I'm going Drake. CH or Hubbard. Hubbard. What's up, Sammy? Yeah, what's up, Sammy? How you doing, man? Hope y'all are doing well. Yeah, I don't think Drake's necessarily going to get the full workload either, but I think I'm still starting him. Big lineup problems. The bigliest of problems, let me tell you. Need to start two running backs in a flex. Latavius, Deontay Foreman, Kenyon Drake, Jeff Wilson, or Sony Michael. I know his name's Michelle. We're going to go Drake, Drizzy Drake, Jeff Wilson, and Foreman. Thank you for the super chat, Marco. Sutton, Dupes, B-Rob, and then Hurst or Muth standard. Great question. Great question. So, I think at this point, I don't know why the fuck my eyes just did that. It looked like the Undertaker when he like does those fucked up eyes, and I'm not super into wrestling, so uh, I guess that might have been a bad analogy because I don't fully understand if that is actually the correct analogy, but I think it is. So I'm gonna go Muth. Muth just gets so many fucking targets. And then Sutton, Dubes, or B Rob, I would go with Dubes. I like Dubes' upside. I think Sutton's a decent start this week, but I would go Dubs. I like the matchup against the Commanders. And then Muth, just because of how many targets this guy's been seeing. It's crazy. I know in standard it doesn't matter as much, but look, if you get that many targets, it's going to lead to yards, going to lead to touchdowns. I like Muth a decent amount. It was a W analogy, to be honest. Thank you, Ron. I'm glad. I know you're a wrestling guy, so I'm glad you enjoyed that. Chris Murray, CMC or ETN? I'd go ETN. The scumbag bank froze my card because I do too much on underdog. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I have underdog set up to my PayPal. So they don't screw me over like that. DC Valentine, thank you very much for the super chat. Flow PPR start 2, CMC Sutton, Alec Pierce. Oof. DC Valentine, you bastard. Valentine. This is a tough question. I don't mean that in a bad way, right? You know I love you. But it's a tough question, man. It's a very tough question. I think I lean. Oh, I'm going Alec Pierce for sure. Lock Alec Pierce into the lineup. He's been seeing more and more targets. Um, and so I think I got to go with him. And then between CMC and Sutton, we got to think about this because look, Sutton's going to be probably covered by Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner, look, why I made fun of him and all this shit during the draft because it was funny, right? The guy didn't allow a single touchdown in fucking college football playing for however many years he played for, right? The guy was unstoppable. And it would have been funny for me if he wasn't, if he was just bad, right? That's just what I thought would be funny. And like, look, he's on the Jets, so you would have expected maybe he shit the bed. He was a bust or something. But he's looked unreal. I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey. Look, it's not the safest thing to do. It's not the safest thing to do because McCaffrey might literally score 3 points, but I think so could Sutton. And I just feel like the upside of McCaffrey is higher. So we're going CMC and Alec Pierce. I hope CMC doesn't bite me directly in the ass because there's a strong possibility that not only does he bite me directly in the ass, he chomps my ass off. So I'm a little bit worried about him, but I'm still gonna do it. I'm still gonna do it, baby. So we're gonna go with CMC and Pierce. But if you want to be safe, go Sutton and Pierce. I'd understand if you want to be safe. Definitely get that. At the body stop. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let's do it. Thank you for the super chat. Sutton, no quarterback. Yeah, but that ripping guy might be better than fucking Russell Wilson at this point. Russell Wilson sucks donkey cock. We all know that. We all know that. Gallup. Dude, my nose is clogged right now. Gallup or Curtis Samuel. I'd go with Curtis Samuel. Dylan or Drake. I'd go Drake. All right. Jacobs to the moon. I like Jacobs as well. Dubes, McLaurin, or Damian Harris. I'd go McLaurin. CH or Pacheco. Pacheco. Travis Etienne or Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams. Is it smart to pick up Jimmy G and plan? My opponent has 3 wide receivers. Yeah, that's fine. AJ Dillon or Brian Robinson. I'd go Brian Robinson and then Josh Reynolds or Curtis Samuel. I'd go Curtis. Gino or Tua. I'd go Gino. Gino. Lot of Hankins. Thank you for the super chat. Mixon, Walker, Stevenson, full PPR. So Damian Harris appears like he might play on Monday Night Football. So with that said, I definitely would prefer, realistically, that Stevenson was alone in that backfield. Now, I don't think that means that Stevenson's a bad start this week because even with Damian Harris, Stevenson could still see a decent amount of carries. Stevenson could see a decent amount of volume, and Stevenson could still be a top 10 back realistically because of how bad the Bears are. But at the end of the day, you have to think about this also understanding that, hey, Stevenson might not see the full workload, and we also might just not see. We could also just not see Harris at all. So it is kind of, and the game's on Monday, which makes this even more difficult. For instance, if the game was today, we'd have a much better idea. So with that said, since there's already this confusion at the running back position for the Patriots, I'm just going to go Mixon and Walker. I like Walker a ton this week. He is ranked inside of my top 12. Mixon is ranked inside the top 12. Stevenson was ranked inside the top 12, but now it seems like Harris might play. So I'm just going to go Mixon and Walker. Take it like the easy approach. Don't want to overthink things too much when you don't have to overthink things in order to win. So I'm just gonna take the safe approach here. I'm gonna go Mixon and Walker. That's the safe way to do things. All right. So Mixon and Walker is my answer there. All righty. So I'm gonna answer a couple more questions. Then we have to do the ad read. Thank you for the super chat, Vic, as well. Non PPR Sutton or Gallup. This is where I kind of have to just start Sutton. Like I understand that Rippin might not be very good at all, but Rippin also might be the Lord and the Savior in this game. So we're going to go with Sutton over Gallup. I think they're both close in my mind, but I'm going to go with Sutton. I don't want to overthink things. We're going to go with Cortland Sutton. Sorry if I look a little bit laggy. It's just to do with my internet. We're going to go Sutton. Josh Reynolds over Kenyon Drake at the flex. I'd go with Kenyon Drake, but it is close. Alrighty. So let's do the ad real quick here. The ad. Today's stream is brought to you by, drum roll please, you guessed it, the team that's been, or the spots that's been on the top of your screen this whole entire time. Now, I know it's about the NHL, but if you are a brand new BetMGM user and you bet $10 on any NHL team's money line today, you'll receive $200 if any team scores a goal tonight. And guess what? In the NHL, the game can't end 0-0, so someone's going to score. So you are guaranteed to get $200 in free bets if you are a first-time BetMGM user and you place a $10 pre-game moneyline bet on any NHL team. You are guaranteed to receive $200 in free bets. Do this while you can because the offer will not last forever. Make sure you click on the link in the video description to activate the offer. If I, if I was allowed to use BetMGM, I would do this because, again, $200 in free bets. It is a no-brainer. So make sure you guys do go ahead and check that out. Again, bet $10 on any pregame money line in the NHL. You receive $200 if any team scores a goal in the NHL tonight, which is a lock. So make sure you guys do check that out. Link in the video description. Back into things. Thank you. Die Glosser says AJ Dillon or Chuba Hubbard. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be tough to bet on Chuba Hubbard to have a big game tonight because he's playing the Bucks and because I think Deonta Foreman is still going to get a decent amount of usage. If not, he could technically outsnap Chuba Hubbard, even though he's technically the starter. I think it's possible. I think it is possible, but I would I'd probably just go Dillon. I think Dillon's safer. And look, we haven't really seen a big Dillon game in what feels like months, but I think we could see the big Dillon game this week. I'm gonna go with Dillon. AJ Dillon over Chuba Hubbard for me. Next question. Do I start CMC? In a lot of situations, I am starting him, but he is risky. Tannehill or Heineke? Tannehill. Start Pacheco, Gus, Drake, or Chuba. I'm going with Pacheco. Rick Stock, thank you for the super chat. Pick three, full PPR, Mooney, Bateman, Pitts, Nico, Wandale, Robinson. So we're gonna go with Pitts, we're gonna go Bateman, and then we are going to go with Nico Collins. Hey, Bateman and Pitts are definitely the two answers there. And then outside of them, you kind of get to a spot where it's like, I think Mooney could be good. Like, he's a good player. I just worry about the fact for Mooney that um he's playing up against like I don't know how to describe this correctly, but like I worry about the fact that he's just not going to get enough targets to be start worthy. So we're gonna just go with Bateman, Pitts. Actually, I'm gonna go Wandale over Nico. They're both kind of close for me. We're gonna go Bateman, Pitts, and Wandale Robinson. I think Bateman and Pitts are pretty clear. The other three are kind of confusing. And not really confusing, like I don't know what to do with them. More confusing that they're all close for me. All right, so we're gonna go with um Bateman, Pitts, and Wandale. Man, it is close though. That's a very tough question, man. Juan says need one wide receiver, two running backs, and a flex. CMC, Aaron Jones, and Pierce, T. Higgins, Drake, Debo already started D Hop. Thanks, bro. No problem. So I'm going with Higgins as your receiver. Your running backs are going to be Pierce and Aaron Jones, and your flex is going to be Debo Samuel. So Pierce, Jones, Higgins, and Debo. Very easy for me. I get why you might want to flex Drake, but I'm going to go with Debo. So Debo, T. Higgins, Pierce, and Jones. That's my answer to that riddle there, Juan. Ayuk or Bateman? Ayuk is safer. Bateman is higher upside. So Benny, if you want to play things safe, then you can go with the safe option here is Ayuk. We know what Ayuk's going to do. He's going to score like 10 to 12 points. If he has a big game, he's going to score 25 points. Then we have Bateman, who is very risky, right? His floor, he might literally score 3 points, but he might also score 7,000 points and win you your game. Obviously, Nick, he's not going to score 20,000 points. I know that. Obviously, I know he's not going to actually score 20,000 points. But you get what I'm saying. So that's just kind of how I see things here. We're going to go with Bateman. I go for the upside play. I'm playing Bateman. But honestly, Ayuk is just significantly safer. So if you want to be safe and go Ayuk, go ahead. Hey Nick, watch you all the time. Love your advice. Thank you, Kyle. I know when there are people that I see all the time, I know I will remember you. Trust me, I'm not going to forget who you are if you're in here all the time. It's pretty easy for me to remember certain names. Now, again, there are a lot of you guys that watch basically every single stream, which means the world to me. Just so you guys know. So, um, it really means a lot to me. So I try to remember as many of you guys as possible. Now, at this point, there's like if you combine the subscribers on Stochastic Fantasy Football and Notorious Fantasy Football, we have like 40,000 almost total subscribers. I know a lot of you guys are the same, so technically it's not really like that, but you get what I'm saying. It really means the world to me that you guys watch these streams. So thank you guys. I love all you guys. Thank you. So we're gonna go with. Sorry about going on tangent there. Sutton or so Samuel or Pierce. My answer: go Finns, baby. Beat the Steelers. Fuck the Steelers. Fuck Brian Flores. We're gonna go with Alec Pierce for me. I think Curtis Samuel is relatively safe this week, but he doesn't have that same pizzazz, in my opinion, that Alec Pierce has. Alec Pierce is one of the more targeted receivers as of recently in the NFL. He started to see a very big target share in this offense. I think he's going to continue to get fed the ball, so I'm going to go with Alec Pierce personally. I'm going to go with Alec Pierce. That's how I lean on things. Go Alec Pierce. For the Millie, baby. Sam, you trying to win the Millie today? I haven't played in the Millie this year. I just feel like I don't know. I don't have like while I'm on the show, I feel like I don't have enough time to fully make a big brain roster that can take down the Millie. Whereas I feel like I can take down some of these smaller tournaments while I'm talking to you guys at the same time. Um, Crunching some lineups here, how I see things. Um, Alrighty. Sean, thank you for the super chat. Starting Pittman need one flex, Pierce, Mostert, or London. Since you're already starting Pittman, I think starting Pierce and Pittman on the same team is definitely acceptable. Like, I wouldn't say that that's necessarily a weird thing to do. I think I'm probably just going to go ahead and lean outside of doing that. And then we are going to go with, we're going to go with Mostert. I like Mostert's upside up against the Steelers defense. So we're going to lean with Mostert personally. I like Pierce, and I also kind of like London. So I'm not saying that I think London's necessarily going to be a miss, but I think I'm going to go with I think I'm going to go with Mostert. Yeah, I'm going to go with Mostert. Let's go with Mostert. Yeah, make sure you guys hit that like button. Christian Kirk or DK at the flex. I go Christian Kirk. Hey, I'm 1-5. My team is Kyler, Brees, J. Rob, Waddle, D Hop, Gabe, Cook, Dylan, Drake. Should I trade Gabe and J. Rob for Myers and ETN? No, I would not do that. I think you're paying up too much. Pitts or Hurst? Pitts. Benny Blanco. You like soccer? London and Curtis Samuel. Rashad Bateman or DJ Moore? I'd go Bateman. Who do you start two wide receivers and one flex? Amon Ra, Higgins, Cooper. I'd go with Godwin, Higgins, and Amon Ra. Peoples Jones or Woods, Woods, London or Kirk, Kirk, Juju or Alec Pierce. I'd go Juju, Gino or Tua, Gino, CH or Pitts, Pitts. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel. I'm eating the Josh Jacobs chalk once again in DFS. Eating that shit like how Jameis eats that W. Notification. Apparently, Sam Darnold may return next week for the Panthers. Love that. Love me some Sam Darnold. All right. Next super chat here. Full PPR. Need a running back. J Rob, Monty, Brian Robinson. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. I and Eduardo, most of the time when someone asks a question, they don't put if it's full PPR or standard or half PPR, just assume it's full PPR. So I'm still going with Curtis Samuel and Drake. Um, so with this question, I think Monty might struggle in this game. Like I think Monty might end up just shitting the bed and being an incredibly bad play this week. But at the same time, I really do feel like I just don't really like Brian Robinson is so touchdown dependent. James Robinson seems like he's lost his job to ETN. Not that it seems like he has lost his job to ETN. That I just feel like I have to go with um with Monty. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. I'm gonna go Monty. Oh, you're going contrarian. I love that, Sammy. Gotta go contrarian to try to win. Gotta go contrarian, baby. Oh my god, I clicked the wrong fucking button on my computer. You hate to see that. I'm a fucking dumbass. And I just fucking. God damn it. God damn it, Bobby. I just pressed the wrong button. Jeffrey Velasquez. Sorry if I pronounced your last name wrong again. We all know Nick's an idiot. Point and laugh at the guy. Let me make sure I have this all set up correctly. All right, so trade Mixon, Boyd, and Hines or Monty for CMC. Oof, that is a loaded trade. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I'm trying to think about this because realistically, um I want to have um oh man. I want to have fucking I want Christian McCaffrey, but at the same time, the question is Christian McCaffrey worth that much? Because look, I don't think Hines is worth very much. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think Hines is worth a lot, but I do still feel as though oh, this is tough because I do think that Boyd is worth a decent amount. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I am going to do Mixon, Boyd, and Hines for CMC. But if you have to do Mixon, Boyd, and Monty for CMC, I think that's way too much. So Mixon, Boyd, and Hines for CMC is worth it, but Mixon, Boyd, and Monty for CMC is way too much of an overpay. That's kind of just how I see things. Ozzy. Risk Keenan Allen start or pivot to Josh Reynolds or AJ Dillon. I am not risking it with Keenan Allen. I think Keenan Allen might go out there and play just a couple of snaps. Um, so I would just go ahead and not risk it with Keenan Allen. I'm just gonna play Josh Reynolds up against the Cowboys. I don't think he's gonna see I don't think he's gonna have a huge game, but I also just don't trust Keenan Allen very much. So I'm gonna go with Josh Reynolds. Yeah, playing Monty's fine. I'm just saying he's I don't know. I don't love him this week. I don't love him. Bitch, I feel like Monte. I feel like Monte. Bitch, I feel like Monte. Yeah, DraftKings is really asking all of us to play tight end at the flex, and it's really starting to piss me off, to be honest with you. Alright. Alright. Um, um, does anybody know about Waddle's shoulder situation? He's going to be limited, but I think he's going to play. I think he's going to play. I don't know why he wouldn't play, to be honest with you. I'd be shocked if he didn't play. That's just kind of how I see things. Just kind of how I see things. Um, Kyle says, please set lineup Monty, Hunt, Pollard, Murray, one running back, Lockett, Boyd, one wide receiver, Tanya and Ingram, one tight end, one flex. Thank you. And would you put a tight end your flex? Thank you. You're the best. Thank you, man. Go Dolphins. All right. Okay. So for me, I'm going. This is easy. We're gonna go Monty. We're gonna go Boyd because look, Lockett's dealing with an injury, and I don't think you should be playing Lockett today. To be honest with you, he seems like he's going to end up screwing a lot of people over. So I'm not playing him. I think he's just too risky. So we're avoiding him. We're gonna go with we're gonna go Monty, we're gonna go Boyd, we're gonna go Tunyon, and then at the flex, we're gonna go we're gonna go we're gonna go Hunt. So we're gonna go Monty, Hunt, Boyd, Tunyon. I think it's fine to play two tight ends this week. It is National Tight End Day after all, guys. Happy National Tight End Day to everyone. To all you fellow tight ends out there. Tight ends have a pretty solid performance today. But that's the lineup I'm going with. I do kind of worry about a couple of players today, but I'm going to go with that lineup. I don't think you should be starting Murray, to be honest with you. I think Murray's a little spooky to start today. All right. Alec Pierce or Lockett? Where to go, Pierce? Two or Gino? Gino, should I drop anti-vax Rogers
or season surprise Gino, I would do that, yes. Um, PPR, CMC or Brian Robinson, I'd start CMC. Kenyon Drake or Algier Kenyon Drake. Herbert the Pervert, Gino or Dak? Great question. I think I'm going to go. I'm just gonna have to go with Herbert. Herbert's played really good this year, and I just feel like I don't know. I feel like you're getting super contrarian if you're trying to not contrarian because that's not the right word because we're not talking about DFS, but you're getting a little too, in my opinion, like a little too cute if you're starting anyone over Herbert at this point, right? Like I understand Herbert had one bad game, but that's just kind of how I see things. Um, all right. The sex bots are back. I'm just gonna go Justin Herbert the pervert. I like Gino and I like Dak, but I'm going Justin Herbert for sure. Waddle or Juju today? Definitely going Waddle. I think Waddle's going to play. I assume he's going to play. I think he's gonna have a decent game, so I'm gonna go with Waddle. Waddle did fumble the game away for the Dolphins last week. I just don't really see that happening again. I'm going Waddle. And he waddled away, Waddle, Waddle. And he waddled away. And he waddled away, waddle, waddle, till the very next day. Bum, 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 bum. Maybe they will. Maybe they will, Benny. Keenan Allen, if he plays, or just go CMC. CH or Pacheco, non PPR. I would go with Pacheco. Stevenson or Jamal. I'm going Jamal. Um, Waddle or Ayuk. Waddle. J Rob, Monty or Hunt. Monty. Juju, Everett, or Algier. Juju. Yuck. But I need to start two out of London, McLaurin, Deontay, Curtis Samuel. There's a lot worse options than that. Go McLaurin and Deontay. Juju or B Cooks. Juju. I'm listening while cleaning the car before game time. Would you start Tua or Jimmy Garoppolo? I'd go with Tua, man. Game time, baby. Nice that you're cleaning your car out. I need to clean my car. My car looks like a fucking unmitigated disaster in this bitch. I gotta eliminate Lockett. I don't want anything to do with Lockett today. Kirk or Deontay Johnson. We're gonna go with Kirk. Pacheco or Pollard. Pacheco. Trade away Josh Jacobs and Mike Evans for JT. No, that's way too much of an overpay. Sutton or Cooks. I'd go Sutton. Stevenson or Bateman. Stevenson. Pacheco. Brian Robinson. Dobbs. Alec Pierce. Pick two. I'm going Pierce and Pacheco. Pick two. Pittman, Pierce, Waddle. Pittman and Waddle. Juju or Ayuk. Ayuk. Judy, B. Rob or Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson. Um, Mostert, Ayuk, or ETN. Pick two. Mostert and Ayuk. Cooks or Zeke. Zeke. Gus Edwards lining up at running back with Ravens starters in warm-ups per Jeff Zrebiek. This is going to be incredibly annoying for anyone that has Kenyon Drake. This is going to be one of those games where you have no idea what the fuck to do. Thank you for subbing. This is fucking annoying. I can already tell that this game is going to be incredibly annoying. And the game hasn't even started yet. I can already tell that. Assist from Rondo. Bitch, I feel like Monty. Ooh. All right. Keenan Allen or DJ Moore? If no Allen, do I play Devontae Parker? I would roll out Keenan Allen right now and just hope he plays. If he doesn't play, then yeah, just play Devontae Parker. That's what I would do. I think Keenan Allen could play. I don't know. I'm just a little worried because every week it seems like he's going to play and then he ends up not playing at all. Oh man. Gus or Latavius. Gus, Wandale or DPJ, Wandale, Judy or DJ Moore, and Prescott or Carr. I'd go Prescott, and I would go Judy. Kenyon Drake or Algier Drake. Mostert finally healthy status. Yeah, or Andrews. I knew Andrews was gonna play. I should have told you earlier. Sorry. Jamal, Mostert, and Ayuk. I'm about ready to just drop Swifty. It's pissing me off too. Sutton or Bateman, Bateman, Pacheco or Pickens, Pacheco. I'm about to just drop Swift. I already read that. Najee or Mostert, Najee, Judy or DJ Moore, and Prescott or Carr. I'd go with Prescott, and I would go with Judy. Drop J Rob for Pacheco. Yeah, it's fine. Sammy Watkins or Noah Brown. I'd go with Watkins. Drake, Pacheco, or Gordon. I'd go with Pacheco. Montgomery, Pacheco, or McLaurin. Pacheco, McLaurin. Mariota, Carr, Carr. Pollard, Wilson, Algier, Pickens, Gus, standard scoring. Pickens and Wilson. Kate Otten or Moreau, Otten. Gross but Duvernay, Tanyan or Foreman, Duvernay. Pacheco, Brian Robinson or Sutton, Sutton. Actually, I'd go Pacheco. Good morning, man. Godwin or Walker, Walker. Gordon or Pacheco, Pacheco. Juju or Mike Will, Mike Will. Kenny Drake or Algier, Drake. Assist from Rondo. Bitch, I feel like Monte. Robert Woods is so fucking disgusting to have to play this week. I don't want anything to do with that, man. The Las Vegas Raiders. Putting in some lineups really quick. What the fuck is happening? Let's see. Judy or Gallup? Judy. Evan Ingram, Bellinger, or Moreau? Sorry about that. Judy or Gallup? I'd go Gallup. Evan Ingram, Bellinger, Moreau. I'd go Ingram. Metcalf, Walker, Pierce, Walker. Pacheco or keep Foreman. I'm playing Pacheco. Love it, Nick. I love it too, baby. Gus or Latavius? I'd go Gus. Wandale or DPJ? Wandale. Drake, Mostert, or Parker? Mostert. Trade Swift. I would trade for him. Yeah, I would trade for Swift. Bateman or McLaurin? McLaurin. Sutton or Allen? Allen who? Allen Robinson? Keenan Allen. I'd play Keenan Allen, but and then you can wait until 4 to figure it out. Pacheco or Najee? Najee. I'm going Drake on only one league. Too many questions. I'm playing Drake in one of my leagues too, so you're not the only asshole that has to start him, man. Nervous about Juju going against the 49ers. Yeah, of course I'm nervous. I'm nervous about Juju playing any fucking defense. The guy has not been very good this year, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to play him. And can't be too much. You can't play too scared, otherwise you'll never win, man. That's what I realized. You can't ever play scared. You'll never win putting in like the safest lineup imaginable. You'll never win. Unless, of course, the safest lineup ever is all the best players in fantasy. Which, not many people are going to have, right? Not many people are going to have that. Assist from Rondo. Bitch, I feel like Monte. Ooh. Would you trade away Pittman for ASB? Yes, I would. Thanks, Nick. No problem. Waddle or Sutton? Waddle. Do I drop Aaron Jones for Pacheco? I drop Foreman for Pacheco. No way I'm dropping Aaron Jones. Pollard or Boyd, full PPR flex. My bad, didn't hear. All good, man. I would go with Boyd in the flex. No. Kyle, you don't want to play Lockett, so don't play Lockett. Play Boyd instead of Lockett, and then play Pollard as your flex. Somehow I remembered your question. Don't play Lockett today. Look, Lockett might score like 30 fucking points, and I might look like an absolute idiot. But what I have read is that last week, the reason why Lockett wasn't seeing a lot of work is because he's banged up. He's still just as banged up as he was going into that game. So I'm kind of worried about him. He's a guy that in every question I've been asked about Lockett, I've told you to sit him. And because of that, probably he's going to go bananas, right? Because, oh, Nick told me to sit him. And then he just fucking absolutely takes a fucking massive shit on the chest of whoever he's playing against. But that's literally how the cookie crumbles. That's how things go. That's how things go, baby. I'm playing too many two tight end. I don't know if you're still in here. I'm playing way too many fucking double tight end lineups in fantasy or in on DraftKings. This is looking like a recipe for disaster. Oh, I gotta sneeze. 1 second. Oh my god, it just all hit me all at once. Okay. Sorry about that. I had to fucking sneeze. Should I start Christian McCaffrey today? Okay, so how I look at Christian McCaffrey today is I think McCaffrey is either going to play really well or I think that he is going to play really bad. Like I think he probably he's way less safe than normal, but he also is in a spot to do a decent amount of work. I think that he could probably finish as one of the upper echelon guys potentially if he just gets into the end zone twice. He's going to be seeing the red zone package. They're going to give him the ball, but my confidence in him is obviously lower than it's ever been. So that's just how I feel about things. All right, so I'm gonna just go with McCaffrey. I think you can play McCaffrey. I just don't feel 100% confident in him. That's what I would do. We're going McCaffrey. Well, I think you can play him in a lot of situations. Yeah, Lockett's knee injury. So Joe, let me know in the chat who else do you have besides McCaffrey, and then it's a little bit easier for me to answer your question. It'll be a little bit easier for me to answer once I know who else you have. Oh, man. So I think Lockett is going to play. Yes, he's going to play, but he's not going to see the same amount of volume as normal. You have Damian Harris in CMC, Joe? Then I'm playing CMC. Full PPR, Dubes, Bateman, Monty, J. Rob, Pitts. Great question. So for me, it's between Pittman. You know, I didn't mean to say Pittman. It's between Pitts, Dobbs, and Bateman. So Dobbs has a lot of upside, but he's been pretty risky. Same thing with Bateman. So that's just kind of how I see things. So let's see here. Let's go with. I think we're just gonna go with Bateman. Sorry, I kind of like thought about that in my head while I was doing a bunch of shit on my phone. I'm gonna go Bateman. His upside's really high. He also might end up being a bust, but there's a reason why I like Bateman so much in the offseason. I'm going to play him this week. And I feel pretty comfortable playing him, so we're gonna go Bateman. We're gonna go Bateman out of those guys, but it is close between Bateman and Dobbs and Pitts. Billington Bozeman says Najee, ETN, Brandon Cooks. Thanks. Let's go. Let's go Najee and ETN. I like Brandon Cooks a decent amount, but there's no way I can. I actually, when I say I like Brandon Cooks decent amount, I mean I don't like Brandon Cooks at all. So that's kind of just how I feel. So Najee and ETN are kind of the easy answers there for me. Um, let's go with Najee and ETN for me. Joey, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Tyler Boyd or Everett? Let's go with. I'm gonna go Boyd. Boyd's pretty safe. Everett also has a decent amount of upside. I like Everett a decent amount, but I think I'm just gonna end up going with going with Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd's pretty safe every single week, and that's just the way that we are going to lean here. Um, Alrighty. Let's go Everett. I mean, let's go Boyd. Sorry about that. I don't know why I just went back on my own brain. My brain turned on me right there. We're gonna go with Boyd pretty easily over Everett for me. Brian Robinson or Kenyon Drake. So even with this Drake situation being so, I think I'd rather just roll the dice on Kenyon Drake over Brian Robinson. He's so touchdown dependent. I don't um, want to play Brian Robinson that much. Like he's just so touchdown dependent. That's really tough. That's just how I see things. I'm gonna go Drake. Did he already mention CMC or Jeff Wilson? I'd rather play Jeff Wilson over CMC. They're close in my opinion. They both look like decent plays this week. But I don't really trust I don't really trust CMC that much, but I'm still playing him in certain situations. With Wilson not being the starter, I'm down to Wandale, Foreman, or Thornton at the flex. Opinions. All right. I would probably just play Tyquan Thornton. Tyquan Thornton looks like he has a pretty good role with the Patriots, so I'm just gonna go Thornton. Pretty simple for me. Pretty simple for me. We're gonna go Thornton. I just think Thornton's the better player out of all those guys. Wandale's pretty interesting. Foreman is kind of just like unless you have to start him, I'm probably just sitting him. So that's just how I see things today. Um, so I hope that helped you. So the reason why I don't like Foreman is because they announced Chuba as the starter. I don't necessarily think Chuba's going to be the clear locked and loaded starter, but I think there's a chance that he is. And then the reason why we don't like Wandale as much is because like the Giants seem like they're in a trap game. I feel like this game might end up going completely wrong for them. So that's why I don't really like him that much. And that's why I'm more in on Thornton because I think Thornton's in a position where that team is going to win the game 100%. So that's just kind of how I feel. I feel like they're like a lock to win that game. So I'm gonna go with Thornton. I think Thornton has another great performance. Kenyon Drake or Robert Tunyon. Tanya need help at the flex. Um, Najee, Damian Harris, Brandon Cooks. I'd go with Najee. Gallup or Bateman. Rest of the season, Bateman. Pittman or Higgins. Ooh, Pittman. Hunter MG3. Hunt. The wind or the rain in New England had you a little bit iffy. Yeah, see, I don't worry too much about the rain unless like the report is that it's a fucking torrential downpour where like there's gonna be a shit ton of wind. The wind affects the game more than the rain, and typically when there's wind, it never actually has as much of an effect as you think it's going to. That's just how I kind of see things. It always seems like every year people try to pussy themselves away from these rain games and these wind games, and I'm not saying that you're thinking the same thing, but you get what I'm saying. Like where people get scared to play guys in the rain and stuff. I don't think it really matters too much. Bateman or Gallup, I'm going Bateman and flex. J. Rob, Dubes, ETN or Robinson Jr. I'm gonna go with Travis Etienne. Etienne's a little safer than Dobbs. I think if you wanted to go Dobbs, though, you could. Um, So I'm gonna go with. Sorry about this, guys. One second. Making sure I have everything incorrectly. So I'm going to go with Bateman for sure over Gallup. I feel more comfortable with that. James Robinson's kind of out of the question. So is the other Robinson because he's just too touchdown dependent. Travis Etienne and Dubes. Dubes has a little bit more upside. Etienne's a little bit more safer. Etienne has yet to score this season. He's one of the only people with a certain amount of touches that hasn't scored to where it's basically a lock to score. So we're going to go ahead and go with Etienne. So we're going to go with Etienne and Bateman. Kareem Hunt or Kenyon Drake. I'm going to have to go with Kareem Hunt, even though I'm playing Kenyon Drake in one of my leagues. I just don't know if you can necessarily trust him a crazy amount. So I'm not in love with him this week. So we're going to go Kenyon Drake. Gino, or we're going to go with, I just said we're going to go Kenyon Drake. We're going to go Kareem Hunt. Gino or Tua? Gino for me. Nick pick 2, Robinson, Chuba, Kenyon Drake, Drake, and Chuba. Drop Dylan for Allen Robinson. Someone just dropped him. I would not do that. ETN or Pierce, Pierce. Brees Hall or CMC, Brees Hall. Keenan or Pacheco. I'd go with Pacheco. Would you play Pacheco over Hunt? Yes. Is Waddle playing? I think so. I'd be shocked if he doesn't. McLaurin or Curtis Samuel, McLaurin, Derrick Henry, or Brees Hall, Derrick Henry, Christian Kirk, Ayuk. I'd go Christian Kirk. I would go Christian Kirk. Alrighty. Oh fuck! I forgot to do the one stack that I really wanted this week. Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! 4-man or Pacheco, Pacheco, Dubes or Myers, Dubes, Pacheco or Sutton, Pacheco. Sup, my dude? What's up? Or sup, Nick? Sorry. What's up, man? Start one, brother. Jay Myers or Mike Williams. Appreciate it. Thumbs up. Go. Let's go with Mike Williams. Pick one: Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris, Colton Sutton, or Juju. I'm going I'm going Najee Harris. Brees Hall, Derrick Henry, Etienne, Jamal, um, Najee. I'm going Jamal. Just spent 10 minutes setting my lineups. Ryan or Brady. Eno or Dylan rest of the season. I'd say Eno, honestly. Thanks, Nick. Love the show. Thank you, man. Alec Pierce or Etienne. I'm trying to set all my DFS lineups, and then I have to set all my redraft lineups. It's a tough scene out here. It's a hard knock life. It's a hard knock life for us. Chuba Hubbard is somehow going to become an optimal player this week, and it's going to absolutely piss me off. I just feel it coming. I feel it coming. Five minutes until lock. It's actually 8 minutes until lock. You just scared the fuck out of me. I was about to have a fucking panic attack live on the stream. Um, David Njoku or Hawkinson? Got to go with Njoku, in my opinion. Dolphins versus Steelers or Cowboys versus the Lions? I'd go with the Dolphins. Matt Ryan versus the Titans, or with Pittman or Rodgers versus Washington. I go Rodgers. Fryermuth or Tunyon, Deontay Johnson or Reynolds and Standard Johnson. Maybe I should have traded for Foreman, but he's on my bench until further notice. That's fine. Pacheco or Monte Pacheco. AJ Dillon or DJ Moore. I'd go with AJ Dillon. All right. Alrighty. All right, let me make sure my regular redraft lineups are set. ETN or Pollard, I would go with, or ETN or Monty, I'm going to ETN. Even if Keenan plays, Mike Williams the start over ETN, yes. Metcalf or Kirk or CMC pick 2. I'm going Metcalf. So I'm going Metcalf and Kirk in that scenario. Finally got my lineups done. Love that. I'm still crunching out some. We're probably going to leave the stream about um 2 minutes early today so I can finish my lineups because my computer lags a titty while I live stream. Makes it hard to fucking get everything fixed and in. Do you think Aaron Jones is a big game today? Probably not. Kenyon Drake or Brian Robinson? Drake. Deontay Foreskin. Thank God Andrew's playing today. Yeah, I never really was in panic on him. I always thought he was going to play, in my opinion. Shad White, Gus Edwards, Hilliard, or Foreman? I'm going Gus Edwards. I'm going Gus Edwards in that question. PPJ or Pacheco? Pacheco. Packers are stupid to not use Jones more. I agree with you, Spock. That has been one of the biggest frustrating things of this season is the fact that Rodgers does not use and the team just doesn't use Jones enough. It's going to be incredibly annoying every single week. It's going to be something that I get pissed off at while I'm watching the games. I don't even have Aaron Jones in any team except for on my one dynasty team, so it's not really that annoying. But it is annoying because I did like Aaron Jones a bunch in best ball. I drafted him in a bunch of best ball leagues. And obviously, when that stuff doesn't come to fruition, it is quite frustrating. Especially when you tell a lot of people to draft these guys and then they end up shit in the bed. It's like, I don't know. It's a tough look for me. I hate getting stuff wrong for you guys personally. It just makes me feel bad. Drake London or Montgomery. Thank you for the super chat, my man. We're gonna have to go with Drake London. I just don't trust Montgomery enough this week. Maybe Drake London ends up shitting the bed. That could be entirely possible, but I think we're just gonna have to go with Drake London in this game. I don't trust Monty enough is kind of my issue. We're gonna go Drake London. Damian Pierce, Stevenson, Fournette, or ETN. Pick three. Pierce, Fournette, and Stevenson for me. Jones needs more touches. Yeah, I know he does need more touches. And yeah, I know everyone's gonna get shit wrong. Like no one's a goddamn genius aside from myself, of course. That was funny. Trying to find one more lineup that I like before I skedaddle out of here. I feel like Robert Woods is such a dummy play, but he also might go crazy. So we're gonna play one lineup with Robert Woods. Pick two: Damian Harris, David Montgomery, and Kareem Hunt. We're to go with Kareem Hunt and David Montgomery. I think Damian Harris has a relatively decent game. I just don't know if he's a guy you want to force into your lineups. So we're gonna get away from him in this game. We're gonna play Montgomery and Hunt, even though I don't love Montgomery this week. It's a tough spot. It's a tough spot. Roderick says, with Gus taking first team snaps, should I start him over Wilson? I'm debating. Haha. Yeah, I honestly think you could. I don't love I didn't love Jeff Wilson for starters. So like I think you could do that if I'm being honest. I'm about to cut Jacoby Brissett off of one of my teams and then um play Edwards over James Robinson. It's definitely risky, but James Robinson hasn't done shit, which means that James Robinson is probably going to go absolutely banana lands this week. But that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, so I'd be fine doing that if I'm being honest with you. I don't think that's necessarily a weird thing to do. Alec Pierce, or we have 2 minutes. Alec Pierce, Bateman, or Pickens. We're gonna go Bateman. Chat, do I trade Mixon and Keenan Allen for Kelsey and Gallup? I would not do that. Brandon Cooks or Alec Pierce? I go with Alec Pierce. You won me my league last year. You're the GOAT. Thank you, man. I'm glad I could help. Good luck today, King. Good luck to everyone in the chat, baby. Harris may vulture touchdowns from Stevenson. I agree. That could happen. All right. Just making sure all my teams are set on the good old NFL website. All my teams are good. I mean, this could end up being a fucking disaster. I'm gonna sit Drake. I'm a little worried about Drake. I'm gonna play Dubes instead of him. Alrighty. All right. Thank you guys all for watching today's stream. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you do hit the like button on the way out of today's stream. It does help me out a ton. If you want to follow me on Twitter, please do so at Notorious FNTSY. Make sure you guys check out that BetMGM contest, not the contest, the BetMGM free offer that I talked about. If you deposit $100, you receive, or not deposit $100. If you bet $10 on any pregame NHL money line game tonight before the game, if you're a new user, clicking the link in the video description. If any team scores a goal in the NHL tonight, you receive $200 in free bets. And guess what? That is a lock to happen. It is guaranteed to happen. So make sure you guys do check that out. Orlando, Gus Edwards or Pacheco? Pacheco. I just dropped B Rob. Yeah, I don't like B Rob that much either, to be honest with you. But or J Rob, sorry about that. Not B Rob, J Rob. He's been a disaster this season. My team is a disaster in one of these leagues that I have to start him. But hey, it is what it is. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your guys' day. Make sure you hit that like button on the day out. Good luck on the way out. Good luck, everyone. Let's eat today, baby. Bye bye.